And here we go, people. We are live.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Let that music fade out. Who we got in the comments over here? We got a lot of comments rolling in. Ow. That hurt.
Yeah, we do have a superstar in our midst soon. So this is going to be a good one.
Yes, definitely going to be a good one. As you people know, we're live on YouTube every Friday at 6 Central. And then available on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to give us that subscribe, rate, and review. And we got the Cleaner Core Discord if you want to come join us over there and enter the hot soap talk we got going on all the time.
Absolutely.
It's new. It's growing. Come on over. Let's see. Got the plugs. If you want to support the podcast, I have the Cleaner Stash affiliate website. Promo the Cleaner 10. If you want to head over to Car Supplies Warehouse, I got the promo there as well. Jamie 10, go check out all the stuff they got. And for Dewar's Plugs, I invented a new special segment. It's the Dewar Detailing News. Hit them with the plugs, Dewar.
We love to be new and exciting. So a few things. Yeah, the up here in Canada, we have a multitude of detailing equipment suppliers. So one of the favorites, TOC Supplies, new this year. Bucky VW gets you 10% off, and Carzilla as well, which DIY detail is available at. I'm sure we'll be touched on that a little bit more. Bucky VW gets you 5% off. So save you a little bit of funds there. And for those that choose to follow me, Instagram is just Bucky VW. And looking forward to this episode.
Indeed. That was a good segment of the Dewar Detailing News. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Me too.
Yep. Well, that's about all we got. So let's bring on the gentleman for this week's podcast. I've been trying out this product line for a few weeks now. Some very impressive stuff. If you've been following me along on the TikTok, on the YouTube, I've been pumping out reviews and just real impressive stuff. I'm ready to hear the whole story and nothing but the story. And it's going to be a good ride. Because everybody from DIY Detail, it's the Rinseless Wash legend and YouTube legend himself. It's Yvan Lacroix and Nick McGurk. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the cast.
What's going on?
How are you doing?
Good. Oh, nothing much. We're just enjoying the lovely fall weather that's starting to kick in. How's it in y'all's neck of the woods?
Well, myself, I'm in Danville, Georgia this weekend at a tiny home festival. So it's really cold at night and really nice during the day. So loving the sunny weather in the high 70s, and then goes down to freezing at night.
Yeah. We're in Utah here, man. We've had like the most picturesque fall for like weeks and weeks on end. I mean, it's getting cold in the morning, but it's sunny and beautiful outside. The nice colors on the mountains, and cannot complain. Good for detailers with the good weather for sure.
Very nice.
Dewar was messaging me complaining about his weather. Dewar, what's it going on up there?
Yeah, so we've had a very abnormal fall. Normally we have a snowfall in the end of September and early October, so quite a bit of snow, and we get negative 20s for our Celsius friends out there. And but no, today was the first cold day. We got down to 4 degrees in Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but Google's your friend. Ivan knows what that is, but it's a bit cold and rainy, so it's typical fall has finally caught up to us now.
Yeah, you'll be needing this DIY rinseless wash real soon.
Yep, it's a winter. That's the go-to in winter. Telling you that much.
Ivan, I don't know if you saw that intro video, which I thought that was pretty slick, Jamie, but that was an incredible size. You were foaming rinseless on there. I don't know.
That was a
published that one
rinseless
yesterday, but
yes,
mind blown.
I was holding it off for the week y'all were coming on. I was like, I'm gonna wait to hold this in my back pocket. And
there we go.
Pumped it out yesterday, and yes, amazing stuff. The surfactant filled polymer rinseless wash, just amazing results. You can use it as a regular. We'll get into that in a minute, but we're gonna start with Ivan on this one because we need to know the story of when Ivan met Nick, the DIY detail journey. So Ivan, take us away. We know you left Optimum and you kind of got on the Lacroix cruiser, took a little cruise around everywhere, Canada, Canada,
Canada,
the U.S. Tell us the adventure you've been having that led to the DIY detail.
Well, like you said, I left Optimum, and I was thinking I was going to retire. Didn't quite work out that well, but I was approached by a number of companies, Lake Country Manufacturing to be one of their spokespeople, and a lot of other companies to help them develop product lines in the background, help them develop marketing strategies, things like that. And one company that approached me, they had an idea for a product line. They wanted to, go somewhere with it, but they needed, first help developing the products. Secondly, they wanted someone to be the face of the product line. And that's where I suggested Nick, because, he's got a pretty face and he actually knows what he's talking about in detailing. If you watch the DIY detail videos, he acts like he doesn't know anything, but in reality, he really knows what he's talking about. So
when you
Nick
got
does
Ivan, when you got Ivan, it's sort of easy. It's like, all right, I can explain this, but like, I know people respect Ivan as the OG. So I could take that approach of like, I don't know how to detail, or maybe I know how this works, but I don't know why. And Ivan's always got an answer. So I'm good at asking questions. Anyways,
so with that, I got more involved with the brand. Nick got more involved with the brand, and we became partners. So that has really helped out. So for us, we are the owners. We're the founders, if you want to put it that way. And with that, the products really needed to be good in terms of what we wanted to do. And we're both from the professional detailing world. I've been in this longer than you guys have been alive. So it was really important to me and to Nick as well to have a product line that represented our values, that represented the quality that we want, and to make the products, any pro detailer can use them. But that is not the goal of the product line. And, Jamie, you're a pro, you're using them, you're liking them, which is great. But, the main focus was making detailing fun and accessible for the home user. When I was a kid, I'd ride my bicycle down the street and there'd be people that were washing their cars out on Saturday morning. And every Saturday morning I'd be washing, the family vehicles with my father. So it's a tradition. It's something that we have sort of lost over the last 20, 30, 40 years. And we're trying to bring that back. There's something, we all know it. There's something really fun about detailing your car. And we're going to a bit of a economic downturn. Everybody's predicting, we've got from doomsday to, you won't even notice it. But somewhere in there will be a truth that's found. And detailing your car is a good escape. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and it actually makes you money in the sense that when you go to sell your car, it's going to be worth more.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I like that. I always like when Ivan talks about keeping your car value up. When you used to be with Optimum and you would coach us on how to sell a ceramic coating, and one of them was like, if you keep your paint in pristine condition or you maintain it, the paint is the most expensive part on the car to replace, and so the value of your car is going to be. Anyway, I just love hearing that from Ivan, because every time it hits right, I get the feel. I'm like, keeps the value up.
Anyway, I got more questions for definitely the marketing towards the DIY market in a minute, but I really want to hear, Ivan, you popped up on Nick's channel before y'all even made the DIY channel. So tell me how you made your way to, Nick's shop and how y'all started pumping out those videos just at his shop and stuff.
Well, Nick started by hosting an Optimum certification training at his shop for the local detailers in Utah. And that's the first time we met in person. It just clicked. We had a lot of fun. After that, I went to Nick's shop. We're just cruising around in the bus, stopped in there, said hello, and his shop was, we'll say, in disarray.
I look at videos now of what that shop looked like, and I'm like, how did I think that delivering great detailing results was like enough to make up for how nasty that shop was? Because I did both, but like I wouldn't take a car to a shop that looked like that. Anyway, I see old videos and it was atrocious.
So we stopped in. Nick was struggling with the shop, struggling with a few life issues as well. But we stopped in, we revamped his shop, Sylvie and I, who's in the background in the fridge there.
Hey, Sylvie.
Hey, Sylvie.
Yeah. Hey, Sylvie.
She can't hear you guys. I've got earbuds in. But
that's all right. It's the thought that counts.
It's thought that counts.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts. But anyways, so we went there.
There it is.
Shop. There it is. There. Yeah. We rehabbed the shop, and from there, more of a friendship struck than anything else. And we stayed in communication. We've been doing videos together. Last fall, went down. We're driving through Utah. We stopped in again, made some videos again. But we've been working on DIY in the background before that last round of videos. And one of the products we used in the video, we did a wash on an old Subaru, and is
that the rinseless?
We use that, and we use the rinseless, and people were like, "What's that rinseless? There's no label on it. What is it?" But we've been testing the products for a long time, and little tweaks here and there just to get them to the level we wanted to. And the chemist that we have is a spectacular chemist. He's been in the industry almost as long as I have. But he's like myself, loves to learn. And, the worst thing that could happen to him in a day is not learning something new. And I'm the same way. What that brings us at DIY is that any new technology that comes out, he's on it. He knows it. And that's why, in the beginning, the first rinseless we had was a true, a standard polymer style rinseless. So, like ONR, like Absolute, that type of technology. And the chemist came to us one day and said, "Look, guys, I can do something a little different here." And I've been preaching for 20 years that a rinseless that foams is not a rinseless.
Yep.
But through technology, we now have both. And the foaming is just a fun aspect of the rinseless. It's not a necessary thing. You don't have to foam it. Because foaming, as you notice, Jamie, I don't know what the dilution you had in your foam can in there, but if you put what we have on the label, 3 to 4 ounces, you're going to get good foam out of it.
Follow the label.
1 ounce, you're still going to get foam. But that foaming aspect allows for a little different way of cleaning. And if the vehicle is really dirty, when you spray something on as a liquid, so you're just using let's say an IK or a Marilex sprayer, you're putting it on one form of contact. But when you're putting it on as a foam, every time one of those bubble bursts, it's getting a new point of contact. So you're getting better cleaning that way. But, still require a contact wash. That's unavoidable. There are some people that try to do a foam cannon and then rinse it off, and then another foaming and rinse it off. And any one of those cars, if you touch them, afterward, if you were to take a towel with rinseless or a quick detailer, that spot that you touch with a towel is still going to be cleaner than the touchless spot. But
for sure,
nonetheless. So
I just want to, I just want to go back in time a little bit, because a lot of guys I feel like who are into detailing are starting out, right? And it would probably seem like, okay, Ivan's the OG, but like, wow, Nick kind of threaded the needle there. And so to take it back to that training in my shop, I just got in the shop and I just started this YouTube channel, and it was kind of going. I probably had a couple thousand subscribers, and I was like, I want to go to a training, but I don't want to pay for it. And I had a little bit of je ne sais quoi, whatever. Like, Jamie, you've got 60,000 on TikTok, right? Just a little bit of a following somewhere, some kind of community somewhere. I was like, I want to go to a training. I was going to go to a training, but I can't really afford to go somewhere. So what if I hosted it? And it was like, I've never hosted something before. And so I kind of asked Ivan, okay, what is this going to cost? And then if I get 10 people here, will it be free for me? And then I had Jamie from Salt Lake come. So it really filled up fast. You'd be surprised at like what people will want to do. But like, imagine that, just hosting a training or going to a training, which maybe your significant other says that's a lot of money. I don't want you to travel. You got to be with the kids. But think about the relationships that you can forge through that. It's not always all the trips and tricks you're learning from Ivan. Maybe you learn 1 or 2 things that you take with you. But like, Ivan and I formed this connection and a bond. And it wasn't that I set out to do it that way, but just that human connection part of going to trainings is why I think if anyone's listening out there considering going to a training, you never know what opportunities, not in a strategic way where like people are pawns and you're just doing it to get ahead, but you just never know what can happen when you actually interact in person. Things happen that don't always happen through screens. So
that physical handshake goes a long way.
Definitely.
And I wanted to get back to Nick. we talked about your shop getting in disarray. So you were experiencing, some burnout. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, and then kind of regrouping and forming DIY with Yvan?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was a mobile detailer, and then I got a shop, and I was a full-time news reporter and anchor in Salt Lake City. So I was getting up at 5 a.m, doing a mobile detail, just stumbling into work at 2 or 3 p.m. for that swing shift. Like, I was not focused. I hadn't showered. I was just like, I was cleaning wheels and tires and extracting vomit. And then I was supposed to put a shirt and tie on and be this new. And like, imagine all the mental, and I had to drive an hour to get to Salt Lake. So all that took a toll. I'm home at maybe midnight or 1 a.m. So there's really no time for my family, and I messed that up, right? And I learned a lot. Sometimes you suffer and you fail, and then you're like, wow, I'm so lucky I learned that lesson, even though it was really hard. So I had to grow up a lot, right? I was like, this business is not going to grow itself. And so I was just putting everything into the business. Yeah. And it helped. It helped Hawk Pro. I grew the YouTube channel, which can be a full-time job. I was detailing full-time. I had a full-time job, driving an hour each way to that job. So I was getting burned out, and things were really kind of struggling at home. And right around the time that Yvan visited my shop is right when kind of things were rocky at home. And it was just really nice, because that was after the training, and he kind of restored my shop. It's right before COVID. So he got my shop clean, efficient. We threw out like 2/3 of the shop went in the garbage can. There's a video on YouTube about it. It was nasty. Nice. But like, Yvan was there for me in a time of need, and he and Sylvie, like, the shop looked so pristine, Mm-hmm. And so from there, things were good. Then I had to move out of that shop because the landlady was trying to give that shop to the people next door to me. That was a weird thing. Anyone in detailing, you get into a shop and you think that's going to be a forever place, and you just never know. But anyway, so then I get to a 4,000 square foot shop with the business partner. At this point, like, I'm showing up as a dad, some things happened in my personal life where I ended up getting divorced, which was really hard. But like, all of a sudden I got these custody days with my kids, and I'm fully present with them. And then I'm fully present at work. And I just can't be pulling all-nighters to like be in this shop with my business partner. So being gone a lot in a manual labor setting, like, resentment can kind of build up, because the manual labor is hard work. Oh, yeah. Even if Nick's staying there till 5 a.m, polishing a car, whatever, it's not seen. They don't see me there. So it's just, again, these real human things where if you're not in person with someone and you don't communicate well, who knows? Who knew? So I gave Hawk Pro Detailing to my business partner, Greg. I'm like, bro, you have this. I'll take the YouTube channel. This is the right thing for me. And as that was happening, we were sort of finalizing DIY. Like, this is fully happening. And so all these things were sort of happening at once, but I think it all kind of happened for a reason. Mm-hmm. I credit Yvan, man. Without you, Yvan, I wouldn't have this opportunity. So I don't know. What do you think, Yvan? Is that about the story right there?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like to talk.
In a big nutshell, but
yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's very evident now that, this is definitely something that's meant to happen, and you two are killing it. And that leads us back to DIY detail, and on the branding and marketing side towards the DIY market, because I see you two as like there's a top tier in detailing, and then there's this other tier that I don't even know what to call it, but
the upper echelon.
That's where you two sit, in my opinion. There's Yvan. I've learned everything about a rinse and wash you can get from Yvan.
Yep.
Old videos of him and Levi. He was, Yvan. You had like two Ivans fused together back then.
Yeah.
But great educational videos. Learned a lot from them. And Nick, your YouTube channel was just on another level of really like reviewing products and showing techniques and stuff. So y'all come together and then make a brand for the less professional, individuals with elite products. So tell us and walk us through, the branding and marketing it behind to push it towards a DIY market, if that makes sense.
Well, actually, I had a conversation with another, one of my coaching customers, and their brand, they're wanting to transition to the DIY market as well, because they see that as a growing market. There's a lot of competition for the professional detailer. There's a ton of it. And in the, the do-it-yourself or the enthusiast space, there's not that much. Yes, you have the Mothers, you have the Turtle Wax, you've got Wizards and things like that. And they're okay. They're good brands. They're good quality products, but they're not on the same level as we're at. So we took literally pro-grade products and then made them easier to use. And that's the whole goal of this. We don't want, you tell people don't use this in direct sunlight. that's almost an invitation to use it in direct sunlight. And
right.
We tell them not to use it in direct sunlight.
Right.
And they try, but things happen. An example, I don't know if you use quick beads yet, Jamie.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. So quick beads, if you've used any sort of product like that is a water activated ceramic, some of them can be really streaky. Some of them, you have to put it on between 7:36 and 7:38 in the morning. The dilution ratio has to be just perfect.
Yeah.
If it's more than 41% humidity outside, you need to change the dilution ratio. You've seen all of those.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that type of product because for the home user, you've soaked up your car. Now you want to give it a bit of instant protection. It's easy to use. The rinse on aspect, rinse on, rinse off aspect is great.
Mm-hmm.
But the products that were on the market were just not doing it for us. And, once again, our chemist came to us and said, look, I can actually add graphene into this. And by adding the graphene, it will make it less streaky. We're like, win-win, go for it. So added the graphene in there, did a spectacular job in making it simple to use. And, we've tried different dilution ratios. What the dilution ratio that's in the bottle, it's ready to use. We don't want people to be sitting there diluting and, as professional detailers, diluting product is just part of our game. It's what we do. And there's still pro detailers that can't figure out a proper dilution ratio. The glug method.
Oh yeah.
And, with soap, the rinseless not really, but with soap, the glug method works. But when you're getting into protection chemicals like, quick beads or a rinseless wash, that just doesn't cut it. So we played with a lot of dilution ratios. We did a test actually at Jamie's shop in Utah, and a rental car, we sprayed it on. We actually let it dry on the car in the sun. Then we rinsed it off, and it was still fine.
Wow.
Nice.
We're not suggesting you do that, please.
No, don't try that
dry in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Do not use it in direct
Noted.
sunlight.
Noted.
All the traditional warnings will, pretend they're streaming along the bottom of the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, it's just an easy, fun product to use. And, Nick, you'll see a lot of videos with Nick using ceramic gloss because he really loves that. And I think you've tried it, Jamie. I saw a video of you using it.
Oh,
but again, simple product. It's going to give you 3 to 9 months protection. And, just a little, thank you. Beautiful. I don't know which one of you did that, but great job. Anyways, the ceramic gloss, there's a lot of great ceramic, instant detailers on the market that do a wonderful job. They're going to protect anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on how the person uses their vehicle. This is a question in the pro side that I get a lot from, different coating manufacturers. And how do we answer the question, how long does the coating last? Anywhere from a month to lifetime.
That's right.
How is the vehicle maintained? Is it in a garage and gets driven 1,000 miles a year? Or is it a daily driver that gets 800 miles a week put on it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it driven in San Diego or is it driven in, Alberta?
Yep.
So different areas of the world. Thank you. Don't let it dry. Anyways, so we're, a ceramic coating like the ceramic gloss, like the quick beads. It's not something that we can put a date, an expiry date on. So use it often, enjoy it, and have fun with it.
That's right, Nick. Anything for the brand?
I think quick beads is like the supermodel. Quick beads is like extremely sexy. Like it's just, it's amazing. And ceramic gloss is like the one that you actually like want to be with, right? Like beautiful, but like not so out there that they have like, I don't know. They're both like, to me, ceramic gloss is just, it's great. It's like, it's just that sweet spot of like price point, and it does exactly what you need it to do. The branding is simple. So pros, I think, can hand it out to their customers. So like Carlos Serrano, he's on YouTube, Serrano's Mobile. He was telling me on Facebook today, like he hands a bottle of ceramic gloss in his kit to every coating customer,
Nice.
And it's like, I think right now it's $14.99 for ceramic gloss, and that thing performs like products 3 times that in the pro market. So we wanted to price it aggressively for sure for the value. And so I just love ceramic gloss for everything it can do. Ivan, what do you think?
Yeah. And, the other thing about the branding specifically, the DIY detail, but the look of the bottles, things like that. Nick had a lot of involvement in that. One suggestion that I brought up that, was actually retained was putting the QR codes on the bottle. So every bottle has a QR code that brings you to a list of videos, that brings you to the SDS sheet. We're not hiding them somewhere deeply in the website that no one can find them. It's right on the bottle. Scan it. The SDS sheet is right there. The instructions are there, the written instructions and videos. And the influencers like you, Jamie, like Alex, if you're doing any videos with us on YouTube, we actually add them into our playlist. So if you go onto the DIY Detail YouTube channel and you look at a playlist for ceramic gloss, it's not just Nick and I. It's anybody who's used it, that's reviewed it, their video is there as well. So we're getting, we're helping out those that are helping us with, doing that and being part of a playlist and all that fun stuff. But again, we wanted simplicity. Another thing, we were unequivocally, this is the way we're doing it, is the sprayers.
Right.
We're using Tulco sprayers. They're arguably some of the most expensive on the market.
They're almost too good.
But they are the best.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We're having right now, actually, with our labels, we're having a bit of supply chain issues, I think is the new term these days.
Yeah.
But basically our supplier is really slow. They make great labels. They hold up to chemicals. You could literally, soak the bottle in your favorite chemical and pull it back out, leave it there for a week if you want. The label will still be good. That being said, they're a little slow in printing. So, we've been proposing gallons. I think for 2 months now, we've been saying we'll have them in 2 weeks because we've been waiting for labels every 2 weeks. Right. But apparently by the end of October, which is really close, we will have gallon sizes available on the website, and Carzilla in Canada, IDS as well is, one of the first people that picked us up was IDS Car Care. So Nick, he knows me, knows Nick, and tried the products briefly, very briefly. He was just, this is good. If you guys are behind it, I'm all for it. So.
Yes, y'all have done a good job with using the creators. I think this probably comes from Nick a lot because he was one. Y'all already had an affiliate link, a promo code system ready to go from the gate. Love that. So it's just easy for someone like me to try out the brand and be like, boom, 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 got the affiliate link, got the promo code, and I didn't even have to talk to y'all. It was just ready to go. Easy for us. But like, it's a really big win.
From my experience, is like, I'm gonna send products, and when I do it, I'm like, I'm not asking you for anything. All I say is like, tell me what you think, right? Because I hated when people would send me stuff and be like, can I send you one bottle of this if you do a video? I'm like, no, like I'll do a video if I want to do a video. That sounds like I got a busy life, bro. Like, you want me to do a video, edit it, put it online? Like, I'll do it when I love something, right? Yeah. And then that's not even like a financial conversation. Maybe I can have an affiliate link on the back end to make up for it, but we're not being like, hey, let me pay you to do this video. It's just like, if you want the affiliate link, that's the way the world works, because it helps you as a creator make a little bit on the back end if you love it. But I don't ever want to tell someone like, do this video this way, because that's just like, I hate it when I was like handled that way. So I used to work in media as a reporter, and I hated when the PR people were like, we'll do it this way. Like, does your cameraman want to get a shot over here? And we'll make sure you do this point. I'm like, don't handle me. Don't tell me what to do. Like, once it's in the hands of Jamie or whatever, like, the product has to speak for itself, So I'm glad you've done positive videos, but like, I didn't tell you what video or videos to do. I just sent it to you, and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts on it. So
I mean, it's pretty easy once it's you get your hands on it, you're going to enjoy it, and we'll get to that. I'll share my favorite products in the line in a minute. Going back to, what was it? Let's see, something about Ivan.
He's drinking water, by the way. I wish there was something exciting in that cup, but
only water, people. Only did you bring some Canadian water with you to Georgia? Has to be better than the Georgia water.
The finest Rocky Mountain Springs. Oh, there you go.
But we have a Berkey water filter, so all the water, no matter where we get it, tastes the same.
But anyway, the DIY market. And I don't know what it was. Someone asked me a question about the rinseless wash and that you had a philosophy change. I knew the answer was going to be that technology has just changed. But someone was hitting me up on my review of yesterday.
Yeah.
I want you to go in depth of why, now you like a foaming rinseless, this and that. And you already said it. But that leads us to the rinseless, the DIY rinseless wash and sponge that isn't out yet. But I'm looking forward to this sponge. So, Ivan, tell us the ins and outs of the rinseless wash and your development of the red and black sponge.
Ooh.
Well, red, black, and gold, but we don't have the gold. Anyways, the rinseless sponges that are out there, whether it be the gold sponge, the black, the ultra black sponge, or the big red sponge, it's my fault. That being said, things evolve. So the big red sponge works really great with a rinseless wash. Put it near soap, it's pretty much useless. The ultra black sponge, we changed the shape of it primarily because of Levi. So Levi at the rag company has really bad issues with his hands. And and it's all stemming from detailing. So if you're using those trigger sprayers all day long in a professional setting, you might want to look at other alternatives.
Sure.
Nonetheless, he couldn't hold on to the big red sponge properly. So went back to the drawing board, drew a new shape. And at the same time, I was working at Lake Country, or working for Lake Country, and they presented this new foam to me. It's like, oh, let's give it a try. So we tried the black foam and worked out great. The ultra black sponge to me actually is the better sponge. But for the DIY market, we wanted something a little different. And if you're using the black sponge, if you want to use it with incredible suds, great. It's going to, the black side is going to do really well. The red side with the rinseless has a little more bite to it. It's not going to scratch the surface. It's not going to do anything like that. But it just has a little more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's like the red that we all know. So it's not like sandpaper, right?
No.
Yeah, it's like the red.
It's the same foam you've been using for 15 years now.
Exactly.
So it's not that, it's not that big of a deal. But some people were saying, we like the black foam of the ultra black sponge, but we still prefer the square shape. So now we have both foams and both shapes in one sponge.
In one sponge, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the history coming together of the red and the black, and now you have your own brand, and boom, you got a super sponge now. So I'm looking forward to
red and black, or we're red and black too. It's our logo.
Yep.
So.
Now it's going to be a little more expensive than the other two, just because of the merging of the two foams.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to fuse that together.
Oh.
Yeah, well, Lake Country figured that out for us. Lake Country manufactures all of these for everyone.
Beautiful.
But that being said, especially in a DIY context, that foam is going to last you for years, if not decades. In a professional setting, whether it be the red sponge or the black sponge, you're getting thousands of washes out of it. Not just one or two. You're getting thousands. Yeah. So yes, the sponge might be $25, but 1,000 washes at $25, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does anybody ever have like a big red sponge that goes bad? Like, I feel like when I see guys use them on YouTube, who did I see recently? It's like, I've had this big red sponge for like 5 years, and I'm pretty sure there's one sitting around my garage somewhere too that they don't ever go bad, Ivan.
I've only seen one like rot, and someone posted it on the Rag Company discussion group one day, and it was like I don't know how old it was. It had to be an OG original first edition.
Yeah.
It was shriveled up like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy or something. Yeah. But
they basically just wear out eventually. In the terms of they get ratty looking. They might be missing a few little the chunks in them, and that's where people get rid of them. But in reality, no, you can't kill them.
Mm-hmm. So
that doesn't make them wash worse, does it, Ivan? If a chunk is missing, like that doesn't increase scratch risk, or does it?
No, not at all.
That's less media hitting the surface. That means it's safer.
Yeah.
Ivan, I'm going to clip this next segment because I still get a lot of questions of this, and I don't even have an answer for it myself. But so I'll use the black sponge on TikTok or something, and I thought sponges were bad for car detailing. So can you explain the full description of why with a rinseless wash, the big red or the black sponge is just as safe?
Actually, with a rinseless or with a soap.
Rinseless.
Yeah, but I'm saying both.
Okay.
In both terms.
In both terms. Okay.
So look at it this way: when people were saying don't use foam, they were using the foam that got out of the kitchen. Or when O&R first came about in 2002, 2003, people started using grout sponges. And that worked okay, but yeah, and the grout sponges didn't last. You'd get maybe 10 washes out of it and be disintegrated. That's when I went to the drawing board, spoke with Lake Country, developed it. I wasn't working for Optum at the time. I just wanted a better wash media in my own shops. Because at the time I had 26 shops. We're using the rinseless wash. And the mitts I never really liked, especially with a polymer-based rinseless. A chenille mitt gets really sort of slimy feeling. And then a wool mitt, same deal. It gets slimy. Microfiber towels, they work. But microfiber, as we all know, is designed to grab on and hold on to stuff.
Yep.
And when you're using a microfiber towel, that first 6 inches you're using is great. After that, it's removed what that first 6 inches was, and it's on the surface of the fiber. It doesn't get absorbed in like the sponge. The other aspect that we have, especially with using a microfiber towel, is now pressure points. And pressure points are very bad in washing, no matter what you're using. That rinseless video, you were just moving your wash mitt on it. You didn't have your hand inside the wash mitt pressing down. You're just literally gliding it across the surface. And that's what people need to do. Now, with the sponge, it's a lot thicker. So even if you do press a little bit on it, you're not going to get a pressure point. You're going to get that whole sponge area having pressure on it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had 26 shops. I had employees. Employees aren't necessarily always following best practice.
Yep.
So the sponge gave me an extra safety measure. So for 3 or 4 years, before Optimum decided that, the sponge works, and people were liking it, I was selling the sponge, and Dan Williams was selling the sponge in the U.S. And,
nice.
So the sponge predates, the sponge being used for rinseless predates Optimum having it. But nonetheless, with that, I wanted to go back to the drawing board because people asked, well, I really love the sponge, but when I put it in soap, it gets funky feeling. So the gold sponge is what came about next. So we had when I was working for Optimum, developed the gold sponge, and that's a different type of foam, and you can buy it at McKee's as well. McKee's picked it up because it works both with the soap and the rinseless. Yeah. So the gold sponge that's on the market, great sponge, works. But the black sponge, as I said, technology advances, things change. And I'm a student of detailing. I love to learn. A day without learning for me, you might as well shoot me. It's just that bad of a day. So I'm always researching. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to find what's the not necessarily the latest thing, but how can we improve detailing? Sure. And when I was working for Lake Country, they said, "Hey, we have this new foam. They said, you want to try it as a rinseless sponge?" Of course I want to try it. Because when we came up with the big red sponge, David Patterson at the time from McGurk was working at Lake Country in product development. And he had a big hand in developing the big red sponge because he sent me, I think, 50 different foam samples. Wow. And said, okay, try these. And it came down to the red one at the time. The black, the gold didn't exist at that time. Then, the gold came about, and then the black is like, as far as I'm concerned, the ultimate in rinseless technology is that, the ultra black sponge. Yeah. That being said, the DIY sponge, now we have the red for those that miss the red or say that, we can't see the dirt on the sponge. Perfect.
There you go.
Use the red side. If you want to see the dirt on the sponge, use the red side. If you know that your rinseless is doing the job that it should, and you trust the technology and you trust your technique, you don't need to see the sponge. Sure. You could do it in a dark room. It's not necessary. So that's
boom.
That's it in a nutshell.
Knock off apart.
I want to chime in on something because a lot of times in the world you just see people or things as they are, and you're just like, that's who they are. But I have a little behind the scenes knowledge on Ivan, right? Like, how did Ivan get to be Ivan or whatever? Like, Ivan at all hours of the day is like texting me YouTube videos, like innovative creators, like things that people are trying, techniques people are using. And then when we're in a DIY detail shop, it's like 12-hour days where this, like, if it has 4 wheels, like, Ivan is obsessive about it. So, like, Ivan, you didn't just get born, like, knowing this stuff. Like, your life has been engines and wheels and cars and buses. I mean, this is, right? Like, you have been in this fully immersed for decades.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you keep me on my toes, man.
Well, I'm passionate about it. And, we are, like you said, we'll be filming 12 and 14-hour days. And if it were up to me, we'd be longer. But, Nick peters out after a little while. He's still too young to have energy.
Right.
That's right. You got to get Ivan's age. Yep. That's when it kicks in.
When you get my age, you get a lot more energy. But, no, seriously, I normally don't go to bed before 1 a.m. and I'm up at 5. So I sleep 4, maybe 5 hours a night. That's all I need. I'm good. Carry on. But all that time, I'm researching, I'm thinking. I've got the Detailers Business Academy YouTube channel as well. Yep. And when I get asked a question by someone, that's what sparks those videos. So someone asks me a question, it's like, bang, okay. Other people need to know this as well. I answer their question. But I get, on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, all that, I get 50 to 60 questions a day from people. And they're random questions. They're not about DIY. They're about detailing. I answer them all. I don't care what brand they're hawking or they're talking about or they're having fun with. Just let's get their questions answered. Let's make detailing safer, easier, and more fun for them. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're a champion for that because I'm already like ignoring a couple comments. I'm like, that's enough for the day.
Unfortunately, we don't see the comments going through. So, but
we'll pop some up at the end. You got anything to chime in for these fellas?
No, I want to ask. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I want to ask Jamie a question.
I was just gonna say the ever evolving education is so important, because I think if you're not learning, especially if you're in a business sense where I'm just an enthusiast and I love learning for that side of things, but if I was in a business, I feel like learning is so important because you want to be as efficient as possible. And like Ivan's videos, stemming back as long as I can remember, just efficiency and organization, and even just doing that in the home setting is so beneficial. And just a little thing can make you do so much better. And again, just little things learning here and there. I just love it.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out something when I work with Ivan, like the clay towel, right? In a pro setting, sometimes you'll listen to Ivan and he'll say, no pressure on the machine, and this is how you keep the paint cool. Next thing you know, you got your full body weight, speed 6, microfiber, dust flying everywhere, paint's like burning hot. You're like, I'm a pro. I don't have to listen to Ivan. All right. Yeah. So that's the cynic in me, which is not the way to do it. Ivan will tell you this, and he's right? But we were working in the DIY detail garage, and like I was watching him with the clay towel, right? And he's like, no pressure. And I'm like, of course, But I'm like, there's like sometimes you got to grind in and get the contaminant. And instead of grinding in, I watched Ivan do a few extra passes, maybe like 10 gentle passes. The iron remover was a lubricant. Our fine grade clay towel was working, and he got the contaminant out of the paint. And I was like, Ivan's method is so genius because, like you said, Alex, like around the house, like let the thing do it for you when you're trying to get that grease off the stovetop or whatever detailing setting you're in. Is like you can make it less difficult. And like watching Ivan and just like seeing, kind of feeding off his energy and sort of his like relaxed movements, it looks like he's moving slow, but I think sometimes we think if we move really fast and like just rapidly do a lot of things, we're working faster. And there's like a zen to Ivan's method, and I don't say that in like a fanboy way. It's like I spend time with you, Ivan. No. I'm like, I'm learning it. It's good. It's good for everybody to try to listen to that efficiency stuff.
The slower you work, the slower you move, the faster you work.
Well, I remember one of the things that I had a big takeaway from was recording yourself while doing it. And, I had a camera where like just had it set up and just a regular like maintenance watch, like something pretty simple. And you watch it back, you're like, holy crap, I walk around the car 400,000 times and, I can make this so much better and easier. And just it's so much smoother now.
There you go.
Alex, what did you take away that you're wasting time? Like what part of the maintenance wash did you feel?
I think just like, remembering where you've been in a car, like sometimes you forget. It's like, crap, did I do that wheel or did I do this fender or did I do the roof or, what did I do? But just kind of like starting in one spot and then going top to bottom and just going around and keeping that same pattern no matter what vehicle you're on. And that was a big takeaway for me.
That's where your system will prevail, starting on the same wheel every time and finishing on the same wheel and doing the same door jam and finishing the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get back into the brand and talk about some brand highlights. Clean and Protect really blew me away. There's not too many detailers with the cutting power of Clean and Protect. I used it on some pretty bad leather seats and cleaned it right up, left some protection, smells amazing. I mean, so run us through a couple of y'all's brand highlights that you really want people to try. I don't think anything I've tried you can go wrong, but what are maybe your top two, something like that you want people to start at?
Could I just ask you, Jamie, because it's going to sound like we're selling it, but like, can you talk about the scents? Because no one has smell-o-vision, but like a big part of a DIY or pro-level product, we want them to smell good. So can you just talk about the smells of these products? Because I don't think that's insignificant at all.
Exactly, and that's what kind of rolled into my foam cannon soap review. I said, this might be the best foam cannon soap I've ever used. It's got the cutting power, even though it's around pH neutral. It's it's concentrated, so it's got the crazy suds at 1 ounce, 1 to 2 ounces, and it's got an amazing scent. And I mean, you foam that bad boy, and it aromatics, around the vehicle, and you don't get more DIY than enjoying, a good smelling soap. So
that's quite the title for Jamie's place.
Just knocked it out the park.
He's foamed so much stuff. It's crazy.
And I've seen Jamie's reviews, and a lot of times I'm like, this is a solid product. It's a good product, decent product, right? So I know you're not just like giving away the A+ to every company. I trust you, So when you said like this incredible suds from DIY Detail might be the best, I was like,
I was very, very impressed with incredible.
Honest and true.
You got to add that to the cart.
Little side note.
Yes.
Do you calculate panel impact ratio?
Panel, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, thank you. Alex, you probably do know, though. So it's a very enthusiast type thing to calculate your panel impact ratio on your soaps. And most soaps have a panel impact ratio of 2 to 4%, which, doesn't sound like much. But when you actually put in your foam cannon, it's like 12 to 16 ounces. Yeah. Well, our panel impact ratio, for those that like the panel impact ratio calculation, it's 1/3 of 1%.
I mean, I don't even know.
Okay. What are we talking about, Ivan?
What is happening?
It's a Friday night math. It's a Friday night math lesson.
Is this a Canadian thing? Do y'all talk about panel?
No, it's actually a UK thing. But yeah, and very much enthusiasts.
Ivan has been telling me about panel impact ratio for the last 2 weeks, and he's like, "Get your calculator out," and blah blah blah. I'm just like, "Okay, Ivan, like I'm doing it." I'm like, "So this means our soap is good, right?" He's like, "Yeah,
yeah." You should put that on the label, because I think that label needs a little rework anyway, because it says like 3 to 4 ounces, but really you only need 1 to 2.
Yeah,
y'all be changing.
No, you only need 1. 2 is still too much. But yeah, so basically our formulation evolved, but the label didn't, and that got biased. So the new labels will be, the next round of labels will be a lot truer to form, which is the 1 ounce.
You need to add the PI. What is it?
PIR.
PIR to the label.
What is PIR? I've explained panel impact ratio.
So panel impact ratio is, I'll speak really quickly here. So if you've speeded yourself up to 1.25 or 1.5, slow it down. Anyways, panel impact ratio, very quickly. You take your foam cannon, you fill up the thing to 32 ounces or 1 liter, depending on where you're living. Then from there, you spray it until your foam cannon is empty. You don't put any soap in it, just water, and you see how much water your foam cannon puts out at that particular adjustment. And most of us have it on full. So your average foam cannon puts out roughly about 10 quarts. So then if you want a 4% panel impact ratio, which is, what a lot of these companies are saying, at 4%, you take 4% of 10 quarts. 4% of 10 quarts is, do the math, it's around 360 milliliters. I do it in liters, but anyways. So your 4% is somewhere around 16 ounces. But 4% sounds so much nicer than saying put 16 ounces in your foam cannon.
Yeah,
sure does.
So people that take the time to do that calculation and do all this, they lose sight that they're putting 16 ounces of soap into their 32 ounce foam cannon. Or maybe 10 ounces. Yeah.
Just put 1 ounce of Incredible Suds. You're gonna have a good, nice time. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
And it's gonna smell good too.
That's definitely a must try product. You got to throw Incredible Suds in there. Give it a try. You're gonna love the scent. Nick, what is your next on the list?
Well, I was gonna say with Incredible Suds, like when we were formulating this whole brand, it was like, if we're gonna enter the DIY market and compete with some of these bigger names, like we have to have a car wash soap that's amazing. So it was like a spare no expense. There's no sugars, there's no fillers. Like it's not foam for the sake of foam. It's foam that also works. So
It works.
we have the most surfactants in a car wash shampoo that our chemist says is even possible. Right? I may be getting the verbiage wrong, Ivan, but like this costs money to make. It is not like let's make something cheap and brand it with the smell. Like the high quality part of this was essential because we're like, we have to compete in the snow foam cannon world and deliver like a grand slam, right, Ivan?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other, you mentioned Interior Clean and Protect.
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite products as well because
it's great.
it works. It's simple. For the DIYer, they can barely, forget to wipe it off. It's not going to ruin your interior. It's not like using an APC. A lot of people try to use an APC on an interior. Just not a good idea. The rinseless wash is a good interior cleaner if you like the smell of apples. But it's kind of hard to describe the odor, but it's sort of a minty fresh odor for the Interior Clean and Protect. And the other one that I really wanted to have in the line is our interior ceramic. So a lot of interior ceramics, when you smell them, they're sort of a nasty chemical smell. Ours is a little chemical smell, but after it's been in the interior for half an hour, that smell is gone. But it's a simple product to use, provides great protection. As detailers, we're always focusing on the paint and the exterior, and we want to protect that paint, and we want to make it as glossy and as shiny as possible. Consumers, they care about the interior of the car more than they do the exterior.
They sure do.
So by giving them that option of protecting, their white vegan leather, which when I was young, we called it vinyl. But nonetheless, that really needs protection because someone who wears jeans and has a white vinyl interior or white vegan leather interior, they're not going to have a good day.
Yeah.
So we're, putting the interior ceramic, it works on carpets, works on plastics, on leather, on pleather, on vegan leather. It works everywhere on the interior. Just don't put it on your glass.
There you go. Yeah, that's a very unique product too. I mean, interior ceramic.
Yeah, sure.
That's not, in an actual, ceramic coating bottle. Just spray, wipe, done deal. Some real deal protection there.
And 16 ounces. What do we sell it for? $50 or $60? I know nothing about pricing.
I think it's $49.99, but you will see products at that price point in like a ceramic coating glass bottle.
Exactly.
$49.99 on the site. So
okay, very good. Yeah. So and it goes a long way.
Yeah.
I did a training earlier this week in Georgia, and I was training with another brand of product, but they said we want to see this, and this was actually the product they wanted to see the most was the interior ceramic.
Yeah.
And on a brand new Ford Bronco, carpets, seats, door pockets, or door cards, console, and the dash, the top end of the dash, steering wheel, used about 3 ounces of product.
There you go. And if you wouldn't have brought it up, I'd have forgot about it. I mean, that's how many. I mean, already y'all have a stacked lineup of just great stuff. And chat, if you got any questions for Ivan and Nick, go ahead and start hitting us. We're winding down here, but
I just want to say, like, if you're thinking about your first foray in the DIY detail, I think about, do you like the foam cannon or the rinseless wash? Because I think a killer combo at like a great price point is rinseless wash and ceramic gloss, which with a bucket and a grit guard and a sponge, like you're ready to go, dude. You just wash the car with rinseless wash, pre-spray, wash the car, drying aided ceramic gloss, and like the gloss is freaking awesome. Like I live in an apartment. I do this outside. I'm like, I want to be doing this a lot just so that I feel that I understand these products when people are asking me about them. Like I'm not going to go and use Incredible Suds and then talk about rinseless wash. So I rinseless wash like all the time. So that's such an amazing combo. And I'm getting another shop in Heber City, Utah pretty soon. Ivan's going to come out. We're going to do a video series. He's going to make it efficient and awesome. And, getting the pressure washer with Incredible Suds. But if you like Incredible Suds, if you want a foam cannon, that with quick beads, because it's a water-activated ceramic. So wet panel, spray quick beads on, 30 seconds later, spray it off. You get these quick beads, very slick. So I think you could go like the rinseless wash ceramic gloss route, because you're talking about my favorites, or Incredible Suds and Quick Beads. To me, Incredible Suds and Quick Beads, I think, is like the sexiest and most fun. So if I had a foam can and I love that, I'd get Incredible Suds, Quick Beads, and then Interior Clean and Protect, which is just like, for the value, just like a great all around. You know what I mean? Like it's a utility player on the interior, Jamie, and the protection is really nice. It smells good. You know, it's very DIY friendly, I think.
And also, y'all have some great accessories like the little magnet towels. I've got to get me some of them.
The drip catcher.
Yeah. Like the cotton.
Super cool.
I mean, some fun stuff on the website, and y'all got a great kit. I think it's like $49.99 that gets you ready to go. So boom, you buy that, you get the free shipping. Free shipping starts at
$49.99.
Yeah.
$49.99. Boom, right there.
Papa Smurf, how are you doing?
Yes, Papa Smurf.
What's up, Papa Smurf? So we just actually added this function on the website because there's like real people involved, right? It's not some like brand corporate machine. And it says like chat with us. So if someone has a question, you know, like you go on like the Verizon website and it's like chat with us and like a robot responds. The first prompt is a robot. I'll just tell the world here. But like it pings right to my phone. So over the last couple of days, we set this up yesterday, I get to respond to customers in real time. And the guy was like, I'm starting a detail business. And he got the detailer's dream car care kit. But I was able to talk with him about something. And he's like, can I swap this product out? And it's like, it's not just some like monolith. And I'm not saying we're here to wheel and deal, but like I met him halfway. I was like, for sure. You don't want this bucket and grit guard because you already have one. Like, let's make this work. So there's a person behind it all. And I am full-time. Like I'm responding to emails, doing the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's a little crazy, but like I am involved on the back end with shipping. And so there's a person here as well. And Ivan, so, you know, we really care about people. Like I talk about, I'm like, everyone is a person. These are not like pawns where like, I'm just trying to sell products. It's like, I want to help people, you know, because I think it's fun. And so just know that like I'm there as like, I guess the customer service guy, if anyone has questions. So
nice.
That's right. Nick from customer service here.
Yeah.
He'll be there
Nick
for you. Yeah, let's answer some questions. Get this show on the road, fellas. Here's one from Humberto. Only Ivan can read it, so there you go, Ivan.
Oh, my gosh.
I can also read it.
He didn't stay organized in the garage after Sylvie and I redid it. This new garage, since he'll be filming a lot of content in, he better keep it organized because, you know, I'm part of it. I'll be showing up in Utah once in a while as well as we drive around.
It's a team garage.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys think we should do for flooring? We were talking about Swiss track flooring, but like it's really expensive. What do you guys like for your garage floors?
Really expensive, yeah.
I have Swiss tracks just because I was able to get. There was like a blowout clearance sale at the Canadian distributor, so I took full advantage of that.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah, so Ryan is asking his favorite old Nick video is Nick trying to recreate my 1 hour wash polish process. Yeah, Nick is way too much into the mechanics of detailing for that. The rabbit hole
but
guy.
I did the video on like my father-in-law's car at the time, and like it was like really close to an hour, and Ivan had just come for training, and he's like, do it like this and leave the O&R on the paint and then just do like 3 packs this way. And like I sent the vehicle, but like it wasn't. That's why I'm more of a hobbyist. That's why I love the DIY crowd. It's like, do what you love, man. The efficiency stuff is hard for me. But anyway, that was a fun video.
Well, Mr. Adil here has the perfect question for you two gentlemen, as you can steer him the right way. He wants to know how to start detailing in his apartment complex. So, Ivan, hit him with what he needs.
Well, get yourself some rinseless wash, some good towels, sponge, bucket, and just start marketing to people in your complex. Now, you say you don't have your own car, so you can't go mobile. But if you've got a lot of people in an apartment complex, just go for it. And if there's a sort of an influencer in the apartment complex, and there's always the guy that everybody looks up to and has got the nice car and all that, offer to wash his car. Show him that you can do a better job than he can, and a much better job than the car wash. And when you do that, he'll refer you, and don't be afraid to charge people. A lot of things that people make the mistake on is, I'm going to raise my prices later once I get clientele.
Right.
No, the people that are paying you $50 to wash the car, they're not going to pay you $100. It's just not going to happen. But if you're providing a better service, so not only do they not have to leave the apartment complex, but you're using higher technology products. You're using rinseless wash. You're using ceramic gloss. You're not damaging the environment. You're doing everything right. Have your marketing materials set up for that and go from there.
Boom. There you go. Knocked it out the park, gentlemen. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. If y'all want to find the products and links are in the description below with my promo code, and it'll help support the channel as well. Gentlemen, give us the plugs on the way out, and we'll wrap this thing up. Ivan, go ahead.
Detailers Business Academy on YouTube, DIY Detail on YouTube. You can find me, just look for my name. I've been accused of being omnipresent on social media. So I'm on all your favorite social media channels. I'm there. I respond to private messages on all of them. So if you have a question, feel free to ask.
I almost feel like you could just post a question on any Facebook group and just put -Ivan ? And Ivan will find it and comment on it.
I'm only on 200 or so groups. So yeah.
And don't take, so I'm like more of a smiley face emoji guy. Don't take Ivan's lack of like exclamation mark and emojis as like coldness. I don't know if it's like the Canadian, like a cultural thing, but like it's I don't mean that in a bad way, or like you're a little bit like old. I don't know. Because you actually are a kind, sweet human who wants to help people. So if you don't get like an exclamation or a smiley or an emoji from Ivan, it's not him being direct and cold. It took me a while to figure that out. I'm like, why doesn't he, and it's just, that's just the way you communicate, not in a way that should offend anybody. So if you're listening out there, ask Ivan a question and don't be offended when you don't get a smiley face.
That's
beautiful.
Right. And
that's all I'm saying.
Was it? One more thing. Y'all sponsored the DIY Detail Facebook groups. Tell us a little bit about that and where they can go, get the questions, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so on Facebook, DIY Detail, just look it up. It's a group with, we're at 47,000 people at the moment. Great group, lots of fun. It's a group that's been around for a long time. It used to be called Detailing for Dummies. And so a lot of people say, I didn't even know I was subscribed to this group. But anyway, so basically we're sponsoring it. And Detailing for Dummies has always been a safe place that people can go ask a question. They won't get berated. They won't get, I don't understand. You don't know that. And if someone does that, their comment gets deleted. So if you're going on there to be a keyboard warrior, it's a moot point. We have 6 or 7 super moderators on there. They do a great job. Nick and I are also moderators. So the whole group, we have the same goal, which is education, fun, and everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There are stupid answers. And when we see a stupid answer, it gets deleted.
There you go. Do you have any final thoughts for these gentlemen?
No, that's it. Just keep, don't use it in direct sunlight. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes.
There you go.
Thank you, guys.
You can follow Mr. Dewar at Bucky VW. I'm at Jamie the Cleaner. Make sure to give us that subscribe, rate, and a review on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, whatever your favorite deal is.
Don't forget the thumbs up.
That's right. Go hit the thumbs up. Anyway, gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure having y'all on. We could go for, it seems like hours. Seems like we were.
I thought we were gonna go for 3 hours, man.
Me and Dewar got to go at an hour.
Yeah,
we got to get out of here. So, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. We'll definitely have y'all on down the road, especially when y'all start rolling out bigger and better products.
We're gonna be at SEMA. I don't know if anyone's gonna be at SEMA, but like hit Ivan or me up, and let's link up and like meet at SEMA. That's a lot of fun, and we're excited for that.
There you go. Find them at SEMA and all that good stuff. All right, that's all we got for this week. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks again, gentlemen.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.